Hello.
Good evening. We are back again. We're embarking on a 2-week international break, guys. No Arsenal for 2 weeks, probably for the best. Give us a bit of a rest. But we are going to talk about Bayern Munich and possibly Real Madrid or City after that. We're going to talk about the baby quad being put in the bin yesterday by Man United. The little baby quad. It's not the real quad, is it? But they're all crying. Klopp's lost the plot. I'm stormed off of a press conference. And we're going to talk about international duty, guys. Big up to everyone locked in. Smash the like button. Sub to Jez. Sub to Matty. Follow Kenny Ken on Insta. How are you, Jez?
I'm great. Yeah, loving it. You know how much I love the international breaks. Yeah, lovely. Absolute waste of bloody time because it's only friendly. So what's the point? Why bother? Don't understand that at all. Frustrates me, Lee, in the fact that my concern is that we could, we were on fire, going well, and we would take our eye off the gun now because it happened this time last year. Do you remember Liverpool? What happened there? Yeah, exactly the same bloody thing, and it all went totally horribly tits up. But it is what it is, It's the FA want to make more money, so they got to have these stupid friendlies, pointless, but there we are. That's my little rant.
Yeah, smash these likes up, guys. Kenny, how are you, man?
I'm fine. I've had a good weekend. Saw some really good matches. I saw a classic at Molineux. Only Wolves know how they lost that match. The Man City game, I bypassed that because I wanted to watch the Fulham Spurs game, and that was enjoyable to watch for an Arsenal fan seeing Spurs get smashed. And then the Chelsea and Leicester game was a mini classic, but the game at Old Trafford was an absolute belter game. Probably one of the best games I've seen between Liverpool and Man United. I think the best game I saw between both clubs was the 3-3 at Anfield in '94 when Liverpool were 3-0 down. But that tops it, So it was really great. I don't know why people are slagging off Klopp and saying he's this and that because he's trying to sort away irritating reporters. Trust me, I was at Paris in 2006, and at the corner of my eye after the final whistle, I saw Arsene Wenger doing the same with journalists. I love managers who are good losers, or bad losers. I hate people who just try and say, "Oh yeah, he's a bad man." That's why I don't like him. Oh, get over yourselves, mate. Next thing you're going to tell me that you guys are all, part of this Corinthian spirit, and you all went to independent school where winning don't count. It's how you win. Stuff it. It's all about winning. Got no problem with how Klopp acted. If Arteta didn't act the same, I'd be disappointed. I love the fact that Arteta keeps on getting booked. Shows he's got a bit of passion. Despite all the criticisms I have of the manager, one thing I demand from all of my managers is passion. I love it that he gets booked. I love it that fans give him a hard time. That's what I want. I don't want nice people working for Arsenal.
There you go. Say it as it is, Kenny. Bosh. Matty, how are you, man?
Hey, man. Awesome weekend this weekend. Scored the game-winning goal in my over 40 game yesterday, man.
Still got it, man. Better than the King of Zamunda.
Yeah, at the double, So a big win yesterday. Great win this weekend. Well, if you're an Arsenal fan, this whole week was a great win. And then, me and Kenny was going back and forth in our group yesterday about the Liverpool game. It looked like 1 second it was going one way, and then it just completely went south on us. It was a great game, like he said, man. I enjoyed it. And watched a little bit of La Liga this weekend. Watched the Barcelona game yesterday. Watched Real Madrid. Did you see that shot by Arda Güler yesterday? Almost went in. That shot. That was crazy. 16-year-old. That's 18 or whatever he is. That was crazy to watch a kid come on like that with that much confidence. But just to be able to watch some ball this weekend, watch my MLS team, Atlanta United, this weekend. They got to win. So it was just a good weekend this weekend. And it's got the draw Friday, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that. So let's get down to business.
Yeah, man. Let's start with the FA Cup. Man. I predicted Liverpool to spank Man United. And I predicted 6. If they'd taken their chances, it wouldn't have looked so stupid after all because they scored 3 and they missed about 3 or 4 big chances on the counter attack. But I still haven't seen the highlights of that, but everyone was saying it was a mad ending. They'd done them right at the death. But Jez, what did you make of it, man? And the Chelsea game as well. They were 2-0 up, 2-2, and then ended up 4-2 as well. What did you make of it all?
The Man United Liverpool game was an absolute classic. I have to agree with Kenny. Probably one of the best Man United Liverpool games I've ever watched. It was end to end. As a neutral, it was end to end, and it was excitement from the minute one till literally the 120th minute in extra time. I mean, I was sat here watching it, and I thought, yeah, this is going to penalties. And all of a sudden, bang, Rashford goal, and it was brilliant. Loved it. You know, there was a bit of shithousery going on, and all that sort of thing, and that's what you expect of that sort of game. I thought it was an excellent game of football. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Sadly, the one thing I have to say is, yeah, I'd have rather Arsenal had been in it myself, but we don't seem to bother with the FA Cup anymore because we have those bigger fish to fry, don't we? But, you know, yeah, it was a great game. I didn't see the Chelsea one, so I can't comment on that, unfortunately. I did watch the Barcelona game last night against Atleti. That was a good game to watch, to be fair. But, yeah, good weekend of football. The Wolverhampton game, I saw highlights of that. That looked like that was an amazing game of football for Coventry. Fair play to them. Was it 87, wasn't it, when they won the FA Cup? They beat Liverpool 1-0. 87? Was it about 87?
It's Tottenham 3-2.
Tottenham, yeah.
Tottenham. The cup final, the FA Cup.
Yeah. Wimbledon won a year later against Liverpool, but the year before that, Coventry beat Spurs 3-2 after extra time.
That was that mad solo goal, wasn't it?
Gary Mabbott got the winner scored an own goal winner for Coventry.
Mm. Who was it that scored that goal, that solo goal where he jinked past everyone in that final?
That's Ricky Villa in 81.
Villa, that's it.
No, when was it Coventry won the FA Cup?
87. They beat Tottenham 3-2 after extra time.
I thought it was Liverpool.
No, that's Wimbledon beat Liverpool the year afterwards, 88.
I'm getting old, mate. I'm getting confused.
You see how me and Lee just stayed out of that conversation. We were just like, you know what, y'all can have it, man.
All I remember is that mad goal in the final. I don't know what year it was. I don't know who else scored. But yeah,
it's a funny thing. You know, the 88. I was actually in a TV studio years back where I had Laurie Sanchez and I had Nigel Spackman who was playing for Liverpool. So I said to him, I said to both of them, right, we're going to create the 1988 FA Cup final goal because Laurie Sanchez scored, and Nigel, you could be yourself, and I'd be Alan Hansen. Nigel Spackman was going, shut up, Ken, shut up. You know what I mean? Because it was actually a corner from Dennis Wise, and Laurie Sanchez flicked it in to win it in the FA Cup in '88.
Crazy. What did you make of it all, Kenny? Obviously, I know you love the FA Cup, mate, and you probably watched all of them. All three games.
Enjoyed it. First and foremost, Coventry had a better team against Wolves. If Wolves won that game, it would have been an injustice. They were absolutely justice. They actually went 2-1 up in the 87th minute, and then somehow they just switched off. And Sim scored his second goal, and then the last kick of the game, and I'll say the last kick, the American player just swept into the net, and now they've got a semi-final against Man United. The Man City game, I swerved. I just looked at Newcastle. I just think they've just been. Then that was going to be a no contest. It would have been a contest. It would have been at St James's Park, but that was no contest. It wasn't worth watching. But the Chelsea-Leicester game, Chelsea do look like a team that's in 11th place. That is really their level. They've got on paper they've got good players, but they haven't got a team. They haven't got a structure. Poor old Raheem Sterling, he did everything. He tried his best, but everything he did was just bad. The penalty miss, a chance when I thought, right, Ryan normally puts them away, went wide, then a free kick where you just knew where it was going to go. It's like, I don't know where it is with Raheem Sterling because he should be the leader of that team. He's got the experience, but he's just giving a sucker to all those fans who criticise him, who think that he's just, how do I say it, a part player because that game didn't do his cause a lot, but he created the Chelsea second goal, but means nothing really. You know, he needs to evaluate himself and get back to Raheem Sterling that I saw from Man City, because if he doesn't, then he won't have a future game. But one thing is, he's not going to the Euros because it's not a football reason. It's something to do with what happened when he left the camp early. But the game of my life, the Man United-Liverpool game, what a game. Man United for the first 40 minutes were brilliant. They absolutely smashed Liverpool apart. Then somehow they just took the foot on the gas. Liverpool scored 2 goals against the run of play. Second half, Liverpool absolutely smashed them. And I mean smashed them. But the problem Liverpool had is that they just made the wrong decisions. Salah was the most guilty, because at times there was a time when they had about a 5-on-2. Ball went to Salah, and it just breaks down. He slows Liverpool's counter-attacks down a lot by trying to get on his left foot, trying to have a shot, or just making the wrong decisions. And when he's meant to shoot, he passes. If Liverpool got their passing right, they win that comfortably. Then Man United, you can't knock it. You know, playing Falange Falange in centre half, and with Dallo, and then he pushed Maguire up. You know, it was just like a great game and a great finish. You know, if Man United go on to win the FA Cup, that would be their turning point. So all those Man United fans want to turn out that. I don't know, man. You've got a kind of a 360 situation. You may want him out, but if he wins the FA Cup, that's 2 trophies in 2 years, despite the fact that he's not the main.
He's already been to more finals than Super Mick, mate. And he did that in his first year. And Poch is 1 game away from getting to 2 in his first year as well. Although Super Mick's won 1. Poch ain't won anything.
But you just think, if they beat Man City, Liverpool, Man United final, it'd be the battle of the managers who are hated by their clubs, fans.
Mate, it's kind of mad as well, because we never had a Manc final before in the FA Cup, and we could have back-to-back. In the whole history of football, we've never had a Manc final.
Last year's one was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, 15 seconds, it was game over. No Gundo this year, though, man. Although he played well last night for Barca. Matty, what did you make of him, man? What did you make of all these games? It was goals galore, wasn't it? Defensive errors, missed chances.
It was chaos, man. The only one I caught was the Liverpool. I read about the Coventry. That actually threw me for. I actually got a breaking news when Coventry won on my phone. I was surprised that they made it through. I was like, wow, you rolling back the clock. So it's always, but that's the FA Cup, man. That kind of stuff happens in the FA Cup. I knew Lee was going to lose. I was waiting on him to lose it. Kenny said that was good as hell, man. He gonna get the last bit of that, bro. But the Liverpool game, it's like Kenny said, for a minute, man, it looked like Liverpool just in total control, and then they just completely took their foot off the gas right at the end, and then before you knew it, it went to extra time, and it was like, okay, well, they'll get it back under control. And then United, smash and grab, beat them and took it, and they got away with it. But I was sitting there watching Rashford, man, and this got to be maddening to be a United supporter, because he goes straight through on goal. He should have that game should have been put dead and buried before it shouldn't even went to extra time. He gets the ball, literally is looking at the goal and puts it wide, and I'm just like, man, this dude here, boy. And people were saying, I saw Arsenal fans yesterday saying, we should look at getting him in the summer. Absolutely not. I'm just telling you that now. Absolutely not. If you thought I lost it over Kai Havertz, we signed him, and I have conniptions. No. But overall, man, it was just a good weekend of football. Like I said, I hate watching the FA Cup when we're not in it. It really pisses me off, and I was really pissed off this weekend because I felt like this was another cup we could have. I actually feel like we could have just walked this cup. We could have took this with the run of form we're on, but it is what it is. I have to sit there and suffer, and it's a shocking stat that we've never had a FA Cup final. If that was a question to win $1 million, I would have lost it, because I would have said at least it had to go all the way back to 1900 or something. Something that had to happen somewhere in history, but for that not to happen is quite amazing. So, and then like you said, twice in 1 year, that's even crazier.
Yeah.
So, hopefully it'll be a better one than the last one.
Fact.
Mate, listen, back to back would be crazy, and Man City are going for back to back trebles. So, listen, if Man United get there, yeah, they could have already wrapped the league up and be in a Champions League final. Yeah, so then it's on Man United again if they get there to stop them, and we know it ain't going to happen. We know City are winning that cup. Yeah, I'm adamant of that, and people are probably laugh and say, yeah, but they've not beaten Chelsea twice. Well, listen, Man City were crap in both of them games, and Chelsea couldn't beat them despite scoring 4 in one of them. So, Man City always find a way, especially when there's a trophy on the line. But before we move on to talking about Bayern Munich, breaking news: Nottingham Forest, Jez, have been docked 4 points. They now sit in the relegation zone. Luton are out of it. FFP, or Profit and Sustainability, or whatever it is, has kicked in. And the Premier League table as it stands right now, Nottingham Forest 21 points.
Yeah.
Luton 22, and they're outside of it now. Everton 25. So I think we're looking at either Nottingham Forest or Luton. Don't really see Everton getting relegated now, I can't lie. And Everton have got a game in hand as well, to be fair. What do you make of that, mate? Is it harsh? Is it not harsh enough? What do you think?
Well, interesting. I mean, I chat with the Yeti yesterday. Ironically enough, we did a watch along for a game, and I said to him, look, let's just get this done for you, for your benefit, because it's coming to the time of the season where the Yeti's team, Forest, obviously need to know what they've got to do. They're on a sliding slope. I was chatting to him this afternoon on Insta, fair enough, and I'd actually said, oh, crap, I've just seen it, mate. They've been deducted 4 points. Now, apparently on Sky Sports News Desk, they've stated that they've only got a 4-point deduction. This is interpreting it. This is not fact. They got a 4-point deduction because they were very open and honest with the inquiry, and they put their hands up and said, yeah, we've done wrong. But the reason we've done this is because when we came up to the Premier League, they had to get a team, blah, 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 and they spent loads of money and all that. The question is the fact that they've been done for FFP for 34 million is more than Everton got done for. But the theory is, well, what they're saying is that they got a 4-point deduction, not a 10, which Everton's was reduced to 6 on appeal, is that because they were upfront about it. They put all the facts and figures out there and whatever. Will they appeal it? That's the question. Or will they now sit there and think, right, we've got a job to do to stay up? Yeah, we've got to actually now focus and get it down. Is Nuno Sanchez the man? Because at the moment, to be honest, they're playing some pretty crap football. They score, they can't hold on to the lead. So I think they are in a big problem. I mean, the Yeti knows, he's in the chat, he knows more than me. He did a very quick little stream as soon as it was announced to get in there first to talk about it. And yeah, it's a sad fact, but now, let's be honest, at least now Forest know what they've got to do. They've got to fight now. It's all guns blazing. Otherwise, see you later, boys.
Yeah, big up to Yeti in the chat. He said we deserve to go down. We're not good enough. What do you make of it, Kenny?
Well, I'm saddened by it. I'm really saddened by it. But I think we kind of all saw it coming. We when they came up and they bought all those players, we were worried about, would it be sustainable? But, for the life of me, I didn't think it would go that far. But it's one of those things where they seem to repeat the same situation where, they're having that points. But I'm glad that it's only 4. I really am glad it's only 4 because it could have been more because, as Jess says, the fact that they went 34 million over, it's very, very serious. But talking to Nottingham Forest itself is not what they need because, it's not the Forest of last season where their home form was very, very intimidating. Like, they got some really good results last season and that kept them up. At the moment, their only saving grace is that they're a point behind Luton despite because of the points deduction. But they're running out of games. that Luton, like the only thing that's helping them is that Luton will play out their skins, but still lose 5-4, even at home. And that's the thing. Luton's luck is they just don't get any luck, but they could be up by default because of what happened with Forest. But one thing is the Premier League ain't messing around. They are seriously not messing about. We've seen Everton, we've seen Forest. Goodness knows what's going to happen next year with the Man City situation. I hope Man City, for the sake of their fans, have got the house in or got their figures and got their lawyers ready, because if the Premier League, do anything, they're gonna be deducting points. We just don't know how many for Man City, but they need to really brace themselves, because we've slagged the Premier League off for just being money orientated and all mouth, no action. Well, they're taking action. This is a warning to every club: keep your house in order. Man City may find that the Premier League is a more formidable opponent than UEFA.
Good point.
Very good point. Yeah, and the thing is as well, like, obviously they can appeal it, but if they appeal it, right, they can argue and sit and say, well, hang on a minute, you gave Everton a reduced points tally, but then on the flip side of that, they can say, well, we gave you less points deduction because you cooperated quick. So we're not gonna, and then they might just say, no, the 4 points is staying. If I was them, I'd just get on with it. Yeah, I'd just get on with it.
Truly, I think honestly, the owner, he's come out and he's basically said, we broke the rules, we got it wrong, we had to do this because we needed to buy a lot of players in to get it. We got promoted into the Premier League. We had to spend big to get these players in, and they put their hands up, and you can't deny that. The difference with the Man City thing, which I was reading about after this happened, the Man City thing goes back seasons. That's apparently why it's taken a lot longer to be looked at, and it's for other stuff as well. Whereas this law, this rule, whatever you want to call it, has come in because the teams were saying we want these things dealt with quickly. Right, this new regime they set up, whatever it was called, not FFP, the other one,
profit and sustainability.
That's the one. The Premier League team said they want it dealt with quickly, and that's what they've done. Fair play, reasonably quickly. So now, at the end of the day, I don't think Forest will appeal it, because I think they're going to think we've got away the 4 point. We'll take it on the chin. Let's move on. We know now what we've got to do. We've got to fight for survival, and good luck to them. Hope they do. They've got a great history, that club. Well, in Champions League, that's for sure. So yeah, good luck to them, and I hope they get out of it.
What about you, matey?
Well, all I know is they got the 4 points. It could have been worse, and I'm hoping that they get sorted out, because they play City, and I need them to fight for relegation hard as they can when they play City. Fight to the death. I need them to get whatever they can get out of that game. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. It's like Kenny stated. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with City next year. I'm kind of holding my breath on that, but it is that they are starting to take it serious. And I mean, it's a case of you hate to see it, but it's like Jess stated, that they're a big club. It's not like they're like a small club or whatever, but this stuff, if they're starting to drop the hammer on this stuff, it's only going to be amazing to watch the next several years of the Premier League. Watch teams start getting these deductions and shifts, and a team that's thinking they're clear relegation, all of a sudden they're 6 points deducted. Now they're sitting in relegation, having to fight out of it. And at least they got it now instead of getting the deduction next month when they're like right there at the end of the season. So at least now they can fight. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best, my friend. That's all he's talking about. We only bought 400 players this summer.
It's crazy. Since they got promoted, they must have bought about 40 players or loaned them in, like done about 40 players in. It's crazy. I think they've got about the same out. Right. And then I was like, yo, fair play. At least they're having a go. But the Premier League don't like that. They don't like that, guys. You're not allowed to have a go. Right. It is what it is. They want to keep the same teams in and around the top. You're not allowed to break into it, guys. You're not allowed to do that. It's the monopoly the Premier League have. I mean, imagine the team.
Poor old Newcastle.
Yeah, but exactly. Look at Newcastle.
I forgot.
No, they can't spend that money.
No, they can't spend now. Like, and this is the thing. They don't want you to break in. They give it all this profit and sustainability nonsense. Yeah, you telling me the owners of Newcastle are going to go skin? Like, come on, they've done that. Do me a favour. Yeah, they've bought a football club. They've got billions, probably trillions as wealth between the people that have invested in that. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a clause in that contract somewhere that says they can't just ditch the club. Yeah, so do you know what I'm saying? They can't just bin it. They can't just say, yeah, that's the end of that, lads. See you later. Obviously, they've got to find another owner. Yeah, but again, that then comes with if there's debt to the club and debt within the club, the new owner will be buying that debt as well, surely. Yeah, so the Premier League know what they're doing. They do not want Newcastle or any other team breaking into that top six.
No, that's what you know. What I think. I think certain clubs have been responsible for this because at the end of the day, the Premier League can only make these kind of edicts or decisions without the support of the clubs. I think certain clubs, I won't mention names, but I suspect it's a club that we know and love that were part of this new edict on FFP. Because you think about it, this was all to stop another Man City and stop another Chelsea because they didn't have the resources to stop them in 2003 when Abramovich bought the club and in 2008 when the Sheikhs bought Man City. These FFP within the Premier League, they're saying it's a edict from Europe, but I don't think so. I think there's clubs within the Premier League, the traditional big clubs, that had a big bearing on these new rules because they don't want another situation where someone else is going to piss in their pool. Chelsea pissed in the pool of Man United and Liverpool. So Man United and Arsenal in 2003. Man City pissed in the top four's pool. Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea. They pissed in that pool. And Newcastle were going to piss in the pool of the top six. So I can categorically suspect, got no proof, but come on. The traditional big clubs in the Premier League had a big bearing on what's happening there. There's no way their fingerprints ain't over these new regulations.
All day long. Look at when Man City got their charges. Yeah, and Pep came out. Was it Pep that said it? And he said that Arsenal had grassed him up, Wolves had grassed him up, Burnley had grassed him up, everyone had grassed him and said, no, you need to investigate. They're all at it. Yeah, but the problem is now, you've got teams like Newcastle, Everton, Forest that have spent a lot of money. Yeah. And these clubs are doing exactly the same. No. Check their books, lads. Check their books. Mm. Yeah. Because if they're spending all of this, why can't we spend all of this? Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? They're basically grassing.
All the chairmen know what they're doing. All the chairmen know what they're doing. And they would have copied the loophole techniques from each other. They've been doing it for 50 years. Remember Spurs when they had that loans for their players, where they were thrown at the FA Cup and deducted points. They got that initiative from Arsenal. Arsenal were doing it, but we never got caught. Spurs copied us; they got caught. All in the 80s. It's all documented.
Mm. Big up to our Bargav as well. Hey, listen, get these likes up, man. Io di puta. Get these likes up. You lot are taking the mick. Not even 150 likes. There's 400 people in it. Why proud Man City charges, says Bargav. We've got to take it to them in competition-wise. They changed football while we stood still. Bro, this is exactly my point, yeah? Everybody sits there when it comes to Man City and they are praying that Man City get done and kicks out the league. I can tell you right now, that ain't happening. Yeah. Number one, yeah, that's one of the big six as it's been dressed up as. They're the best team in the world right now. And that will cost the Premier League an absolute fortune to kick them out of the Premier League. Because now the best team in the world will be playing in League One or the Championship. Yeah, let's just be real with it. The EFL will then get all the income. Yeah, and Man City, yeah, they will have to strip some assets back and whatever. They'll have to get rid of some of their players and whatever. They'll still come straight back up. Yeah, we've seen this up in Scotland, by the way, when Rangers got relegated all the way down to the 4th tier. Yeah, every year they got promoted and came straight back. Yeah, and they've gone invincible since and won a title. Like, come on,
Lee, we'll have Soccer Sunday. We'll have Portsmouth and Man City.
Yeah, Super Sunday, man. Yeah, Super Sunday. Portsmouth versus Man City. Bring it on. It's true. Everyone's just hoping and praying these charges go through and Man City get popped. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it ain't happening. Yeah, they're not gonna do it. Money talks. Yeah, the Premier League, Sky Sports, and TNT will not allow that to happen.
No.
Yeah, because between the three of them, they run this game. Yeah, they run the English football. Yeah,
they'll start the Super League before they let that happen.
Oh, 100%. And the thing is, Chelsea are being investigated as well, apparently. Yeah, so now that's 2 of the big 6. Well, you get rid of 2 now. Because if they get rid of 1, if they get found guilty, they've got to get rid of them as well. Ain't happening. Yeah, they'll get a big slap on the wrist if they're found guilty, which is debatable in itself. Right? Who knows? We're not solicitors. We ain't seen all the paperwork. Yeah, but a lot of their charges are complete tosh anyway. Like the grass was too short or too long. Yeah, who measured every blade? Exactly. Come on, do me a favour. Yeah. Who measured every single blade of grass and said, yeah, it's too long, lads? Yeah, one of their shirt sponsors on the sleeve sponsor or something was too small. Like, I mean, get out of it. The away dressing room was 1 square foot too small. Come on, some of these charges are pathetic. The main charges, I think there's about 6. Yeah, the rest of them are a load of rubbish. Yeah, so you can bin all of them. There's about 99 at least you can bin, at least. Maybe, well, over 100. There's about 6. But then out of that 6, it breaks down into other little bits. So let's say there's 90 that you can throw in the bin. There's 25 that they're going to deal with. And then 25, you're telling me that this sheikh, with a whole state backing him, is not finding a way out of all of this. The fact it's took this long to even get to charges, right, just tells you all you need to know. Yeah, if they've done anything wrong, they'll just keep burying it. Yeah, they'll just keep paying for solicitors to bury it and bury it and bury it. And listen, good luck to them, because I wish my club was run like this. Yeah, instead of all these excuses. Yeah, and the fact is, if they do get found guilty of anything, yeah, they're not getting relegated. They will get maybe a transfer ban, and they'll get a big fine. That's it. Yeah, but they're clear anyway. Yeah, and on the flip side of that, if they get found not guilty of everything, they can't win anyway, because every fan across the world is going to go, they paid him off.
Yeah.
So stop worrying about Man City's charges and start worrying about why we can't win trophies over them. Yeah, how about that? Because everyone cries about it. Liverpool cry, we cry, Man U cry. Oh, Man City, Man City. How about join them? How about do the same? Yeah, and we'll face the consequences in 2054. How about that?
That's the point, Lee. The fact is, I'm not interested at all, one iota, about these Man City so-called charges, blah, 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 blah. The important factor to me as an Arsenal fan is let's learn to compete with them. Yeah. Let's actually get to the level that they are, and we let them all sit here, and let's not look at the fact of, oh, well, Man City, they might have trophies stripped and awarded to Arsenal. Get out of here.
I wouldn't even want that trophy.
I wouldn't want them either.
Wouldn't even want
it. They could shove that trophy in the River Thames, mate. Yeah. I don't want rubbish. I don't want that. What do you want it for? I didn't win it. They finished. They finished. I don't want trophies. Like, it's embarrassing to take trophies when you didn't win them on a pitch.
Yeah. This comment, big up Guna ER, man. I know you're always here as well, bro. Listen, Man City are massive. Yeah, and listen, just because people take the piss out of their stadium not being full up, which again I think is a bit of a myth. Yeah, but every time I've been there and every time I've seen it on TV, it looks pretty full to me. But I live in Spain, bro, as you well know. I see Man City shirts everywhere. They don't sell Arsenal shirts in JD Sports in Fengarola. They sell Man City shirts. Now you can't get a Tottenham or Man United shirt. Now you get a Man City shirt.
I saw them in Sao Paulo.
They're everywhere, bro. Man City are massive abroad.
Yeah, new money though. It's new money, and the thing is, it's the same in every country. If a team's successful, then their brand will.
I'm not saying they're as big as Arsenal or Liverpool and Man United and Chelsea and all that, but they're still massive abroad.
Yeah, but Man City, the new sexy. You know, people support clubs because they're successful. Just like you've got a lot of people from London who support Liverpool because of their success in the 70s and 80s. You've got a lot of people in London supporting Man United because of the tradition of best law and Charlton, and because they're successful. People want to be associated with success. They don't care about the history. People want teams that are successful now. You know, for other clubs, certain clubs, you've got to work hard to get into teams club, to support them. 9 and 10 says you support them because your mates support them or your dad supports them. But Man City right now will not have any trouble getting new fans.
Oh, no chance, bro. When you're growing up, who do you want to support? You want to support a team that wins. Unless it's been handed down generation, you're picking the best team, innit?
Yeah.
I say it respectfully. If you take out Big Steve, the most prominent Man City fan is a guy who's from Bristol. I don't know how close Bristol's to Man City. To Manchester, I mean.
Not very close.
But it's not close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Even in England, yeah, you'll be walking down to the local shops in England. You'll see a Man City shirt, a kid playing football in Man City shirt. Yeah, like you might see more Chelsea and more Arsenal and Man United and Liverpool, but Man City, don't underestimate how big their fan base is abroad. Yeah, like I'm not saying they're massive in terms of us, but they're still big and they're getting bigger. They're only 2 trophies behind us, by the way.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. Man City, if you're in the 80s and 90s, the biggest supported clubs are Liverpool and Man United, and that you only supported Everton if you lived outside Merseyside. If your dad was a former Scouser, the same with Man City, you only supported Man City if your dad or your granddad was from Manchester, support City. And that's still the case to a certain extent, but we've got newish fans. Now, that guy that I was taking a mickey out of, the well-known Man City fan from Bristol, who knows? His dad might have been the make. His granddad might have been a make, or his mum might have been a make. I don't know. But there was one Man City fan that I saw from before we played Man City after lockdown. There was a girl. I won't describe her in length. What I would say is that she looked South London, the sound of South London. There's no way she knows about Mike Summerby and Franny Lee.
Franny Lee.
Does she? Come on.
No.
That's mad. Big up to Luke Tompkins as well. Top Gooners have started on Mikel Antonio now after he made comments saying Arsenal fans are delusional. Well, listen, Luke, we know that a lot of our fans are the most fragile fans in world sport. Unless everyone's getting told that they're the greatest team the world has ever seen 24/7, they start crying. I'm pretty sure Mikel Antonio's not going to lose any sleep over it tonight. Let him crack on, man. Big up to everyone locked in. 500 inside. We're finally at 150 on the likes. You lot are taking the mick, man. Get these likes to 200 real quick. But we are going to talk about Arsenal. We have been drawn in the Champions League against Harry Kane FC. He scored again at the weekend. He scored a few. I think he broke a 60-year-old record that's been held in Bundesliga for the most goals scored on a debut season. And he's still got, 10 games to go or 8 games to go or something. Unbelievable. And he went off with an ankle twist. He twisted his ankle. He's joined up with England. He will be absolutely fine, guys. Yeah, there is no way Harry Kane is missing the game against us. Yeah, he will play. And by hook or by crook, he will be juiced up, bit of ketamine, the horse tranquilizer. They'll give him a shot. They'll get him the inhalers. They'll give him something, mate. Yeah. He will be playing against Arsenal. Jez, it couldn't have got any worse for the draw, though, could it, mate? Like both, the first game is at home, which is something we didn't want. We've then drawn Bayern Munich, who we've lost to 3 times in a row, 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. And then if we get through, we're then drawn at home first again against Real Madrid or Manchester City. What are our chances? Because I've seen a lot of people disregarding Bayern Munich. Let's not forget. Yeah, they have a fantastic team that has just badly underperformed. But this is all they got left, Jez. Can we get past them?
Well, it couldn't have been worse for me. When we talked about this last week, I said the 3 teams I want to avoid are Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City. And we get drawn with all of them. So what could go better than that? Absolute nightmare, really. Will we beat Bayern? I'd much rather we were playing away first. I personally think that suits us. I just think it gives you more option of what you got to do. Nightmare, because we know what we're like against Bayern Munich. I don't want to see us getting pumped again 10, 2 like the last time. Yeah, it's going to be a big ask, man. It's going to, as you quite rightly put out there, you know, Harry Kane's going to be massive up for this. He's going to kill us. Being ex-Tottenham, supposedly, well, he was ex-Arsenal fan, but, mate, it couldn't be any worse. He couldn't make it up. Seriously. The only thing is, Lee, there'll be no Bayern Munich fans in the ground. Because now that's an interesting point, because I see that being released. 3,500 extra tickets will be released to Arsenal in the away section of the clock.
Oh, are they selling the extra tickets to us, to our fans?
Hang on. Apparently they're being sold to the Arsenal, but in the away section of the clock end. But how many of them will go to corporate fans? That's my question, Kenny, because you'll know better than me. But the fact remains is that's the story, that 3,500 tickets will be sold to Arsenal fans.
Wow. Okay. I see something on the website earlier that said that anyone who's bought a red membership before the 11th of March can't get a ticket for that game, because they're worried that we're going to sell them on, or it's Bayern Munich fans getting the tickets via the ballot system, and then the Bayern fans get themselves in. But what do you reckon, Kenny? How do you see this tie going, and what do you make of the tickets?
Well, yeah, I think talk about a ticket situation. Well, we only have to talk about what happened when we played against when we played their first game in the Europa League against Cologne. Same thing happened. The Emirates Stadium was full of Cologne fans in every corner. There were Cologne fans near me. They're
in my
Cologne
seat.
fans.
I had to move them.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious because it was hilarious to the extent that some people just think, bloody hell, did you really need the money that badly? Never happen again. But the situation in terms of like Bayern Munich, for me, across Europe, they are the favourites. A lot of Arsenal fans are looking at them and saying, "Oh, they're not Bayern Munich of old." One thing I will say is that we weren't putting up trees in the second leg against Porto. We actually suffered a lot in that match, where it could have gone either way. You know, both teams defended really, really well. I thought Porto were better on the ball than us. They're more savvy, and probably in the extra time, they probably had the better chances. And there were loads of things where, you know, some of our players kept on giving away the ball. You know, we made a lot of mistakes, but, you know, we dug in. If we play that against this Bayern side, regardless of whether they're not the Bayern of old, I think the Bayern will take advantage, because you got Musiala, you got Sane, you got Muller, experience, Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in world football. That four will do us. I think where people were looking at Bayern is that they do concede a lot of goals, because I think the problem with Bayern Munich, they caught between two stools. If they played their full team and they play with a lot of pace, which they'll need against us, they got players like Upamecano and Kim who've got pace, but they got a mistake in them, so they've been dropped, and they're now playing De Ligt and Eric Dyer, who haven't got the pace of those two, but nothing's really changed defensively. Then you've got a situation where Alphonso Davies, who was like one of the best left backs in the world, can't get a game because he's got problems with his contract negotiations with Bayern, and there's rumours that he's trying to force a move to Real Madrid. So he's not starting for Bayern. They're playing a guy called Guerrero in that game, and then you've got Kimmich as well. So that back four has changed quite a bit. So I can understand why people are saying it's not the Bayern involved, but you look at the, you know, that front four. You look at Goretzka as well, an international, and you think, you know what? If they play to the best of their ability and we play to the best of their ability, it's going to be some sort of a match. We're going to need Declan Rice to be his best, and we need to, because if he's not his best, then I think that doing all this sort of like recovery work and trying to drive from the midfield, I think we'll be in great danger from Bayern's front four. I do think that, for me, they're slight favourites because I think they got individually they're better than us. Sorry to say it, but they are better than us individually.
You'll upset all the top gooners, Kenny. Be careful.
Yeah, I'm just saying it from a footballer point of view. I understand. Good guy, I respect a lot. Said Bayern Munich are slow, and he's going by the fact that they're not playing Upamecano, they're not playing Kim, that they're playing Dyer and De Ligt. So he's got a point there. But Martinelli, who's our pace option, I'm hearing rumours that he won't be. He isn't going to Brazil for the the friendlies, because remember they're playing England on Friday, so he's been removed from that squad, and there's rumours, unconfirmed, that he could be out for the rest of the season. Well, he's the only pace option I can think of. He's that pace option. So I know Saka's got pace, but when you talk about real pace, it's Martinelli. So where's the pace going to come from when we don't have Martinelli?
Mm. Yeah, it's a bit of an iffy one. This is why I don't like these international breaks, mate. We've got 13 players, I think, going on international break. Gabriel Magalhaes has pulled out today. Apparently he's injured, but it's not a serious one, apparently. So I don't know. We'll see. Matty, what do you make of this Bayern Munich draw, bro?
So, people going, about the fans not being in the ground. I mean, 4 years ago there was nobody in the ground. So I mean, that's not gonna be a factor. The bottom line here is my biggest nightmare has come to fruition. This bench is gonna show up, and it's gonna show. I knew the lack of quality is gonna show up at some point. We're gonna have to go. You look at that Bayern Munich team, you go man for man, as Kenny stated, and you see the quality versus the quality. That's not to say we don't have good players. It's just that we don't have enough good players, and that's my biggest concern. If we do not win, I'm just going to put it out there. If we do not put 4 or 5 on the board, the first game at home, you can book this, shut it down, wrap it up, put it in a box, because we ain't beating them in the Allianz Arena. I don't care who there. I don't care who's in that place. People are running around all weekend. I saw people talking about we're going to smash Bayern. We're going to take care of the business. We're going to do it. I must remind you, look at who is in this team, people. Look at who is in this team.
Yeah, they just keep focusing on Eric Dyer, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's almost as if this is a Bayern. This is preseason in LA somewhere. Like, oh well, we're gonna play them at USC. This is preseason foot. No, this is Champions League, man. This is the real deal. This is all they have to play for. They're not winning the league. This is their trophy for the year. So they're going to come out 100 miles per hour. You don't think Harry Kane's go? You just added fuel to the fire? Oh, I can put Arsenal out of the Champions League? Yeah, it's just like, bro, people have got to wake up and realize that we are short. Because let me put it to you this way. I'll even do you one better, Lee. Let's say we get past them. Real Madrid, the city sitting there waiting on you. At some point, I knew this was going to happen, that the lack of quality in this team was going to rear its head. Look at the Porto game. I'm out there working. Listening to you and Ola, and I just heard, oh, well, he's bringing on Eddie Nketiah. You could have just saw that. I just literally stopped where I was at and just started shaking my head. It's like, this is where we at in the Champions League, that we've got to go that far down. That's how bad we are.
Imagine Eddie scoring at the Bernabeu.
Oh, come on.
Rolling back the years like Henry, shushing him and that.
I mean, we have got to be
celebrating.
If we don't beat them that first leg, y'all can mail this in. You can mail it in. And I'm talking about beat. I ain't talking about 1-0, 2-1. I'm talking about an emphatic beating. We have to beat them 4 or 5 goals we were scoring a couple weeks ago. We're gonna have to do that in the Champions League.
We have to beat them that bad. Yeah. I think if we don't win at the Emirates, let's say it's a draw, or even just a 1-0, then I think we're done. Yeah, but if we win 2 goals, 3-1, 2-0,
for me,
I think we can do them.
For me, I'd say the 3s or the 4s. I'd feel a little bit more comfortable. If it's 1-0, 1-1, a draw going back there, you can just go ahead, because we don't fare well. People forget. Look at our away record in the Champions League this year. Look at the away record. Lawns. Let's think about these teams. PSV, Porto. I mean, we have not performed well away from home in the Champions League this year. Or in Europe, we have trouble doing that in Europe under this manager anyway. So if we don't get the job done at home, it's going to be really, really, really tough. And then you got to come back and replicate that again. And this is all while we're still trying to fight for a title. So at some point, it's going to catch up with us. And you just hope that we can find some luck, get out of that, everybody come back unscathed, you know, and it can push. But for right now, man, I told Tony Claude on Friday, my heart's telling me 5-3 Bayern Munich is going to be what the final's going to be.
Ooh. And the thing is, as well, I think people are. Let me just read this quick, and I'll say what I was going to say. Yeah, if we don't, I don't get the fan base play like Porto did versus us, bare minimum. We can do it, but the attitude needs to change. Play the best game of our life, and that's the thing, right? Big up Bargav, man. That's the thing. I think people are underestimating Thomas Tuchel as well. Yes, he might not be the greatest manager in the world. Yeah, but let's not forget, this guy knows how to navigate his way through a tournament, a knockout tournament. He got to 6 finals with Chelsea in 14 months.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real with it. He didn't need his whole team, by the way. He didn't need to get rid of all the bad eggs and the toxic ones and bring in a load of kids and all of this dog and all of this rubbish. He also got to a Champions League final with PSG. Yeah, fair enough. They lost it, funny enough, to Bayern. But this guy can navigate his way through tournaments. Yeah, what's this manager done in knockout football? 1 FA Cup. When we were already in the quarterfinals. So listen, you're right, Matty. Yeah, and all of you were like, spot on. This is not an easy game. On paper, yeah, the game's not played on paper. On paper, how many of their players, yeah, get into our team? In fact, it's probably easier to say how many of our players get into their team.
What, 3, 4? Maybe
2 centre backs. Our 2 centre backs are better than any of theirs.
Yeah.
Other than that, where else we looking? Because I'm kind of struggling.
If Declan Rice gets to the bench,
I'd say Rice.
Is Rice better than Kimmich? No. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's just be real with this. Yeah, is there any of our strikers?
Kimmich at the right back, no, ain't he?
Say again, mate.
Do they play Kimmich at right back? Kimmich at right? Is he playing at right back for them?
Right back, I think. So yeah, but
so
yeah, they've got
Goretzka plays in the midfield, isn't he? Goretzka, he plays in the kind of Declan Rice position for them. Because I actually watched quite a bit of their games, but I watched their game against Hamstadt, and it was they had Guerrero at left back, no Alphonso Davies. They had right back which is Kimmich. Centre halves they had Delish and Dyer. So there's no Upamecano, no Kim. They still got the best goalkeeper in the world. Then I was looking at their kind of they play Harry Kane up on his own up top, and then they play Muller, Sane and Musiala. But Harry Kane, if Harry Kane comes deep, Muller goes into the centre forward, so they swap together, so they kind of interchange between both positions. But the interesting part is, normally before he allegedly lost form and didn't want to agree his contract, you had Alphonso Davies bombing down that left-hand side, up and down at great pace, not just from an attacking point of view, but he had great recovery pace as well.
That's going to be a good matchup, him against Saka.
Yeah, but the thing is, he won't be playing, though. He's not getting in the team. They're playing Guerrero there. So they're playing Guerrero.
I don't think they will in that game.
Playing Guerrero instead of Alphonso Davies. So Guerrero, that is good from attacking wise, but there wasn't much there when there was a test against Hamstadt. Collectively their back four they struggled, but then again you've got Upamecano who he doesn't trust, isn't it? Because remember he got sent off in the first leg of the league, and he got is it against Leverkusen he got sent off, or was it another game where he got sent off for being a red cards, didn't he? Yeah. So they don't trust Upamecano, but he's the one with the pace. He actually reminds me a bit of Kanate at Liverpool in terms of that they're very strong physically, great pace, and they always look like they're pace to get them out of trouble. But if they stick on you and you somehow can spin them, which is very difficult, so they're like that. But if you do spin them, you're straight at the goal. That's the situation. But that's one thing. He's not playing on Kana, and Kim is another one with a bit of pace. He's not playing. He is playing.
Their fans don't rate him.
Playing.
They don't rate him, man.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of their fans online.
Against Hamstadt. Come on, but De Ligt wasn't getting a game because they preferred Kim and Aubameyang. But now De Ligt is getting a game, and so's Dyer. But you will know that Dyer and De Ligt don't have much pace.
Yeah, but let's be real. Yeah, we ain't going to play with a striker because Eddie ain't starting.
Nope.
So where's our striker? Our striker would be Jesus.
You know what, Lee?
He's never up front.
This is why all of us are screaming for a striker in January for these tight games. When you somebody that you know can put the ball.
Unless we put 29 there. But then 29's not rapid. Sorry to cut you off, mate. Go on.
Oh, you good. You good. No, I'm just saying, Kenny, what was it? Name that three up top again for Bayern Munich one more time for me. I want you to say that. I heard it, but I want it went past people's ears.
They play with kind of a foot. They play with like a three, and Harry Kane up top. So Harry Kane is up top. Then they have a three behind him. They have Sané on the right. They have on the left. They have Musiala, and they have Muller. But Muller and Kane.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. And people are out here saying, "Oh man, we're gonna pump this team. We're gonna roll this team over." This is the same naive behavior that have us looking like fools on folk shows. They be clipping us up and making the Arsenal fans look like fools because we underestimate these teams. I'm telling you, this game is gonna be much harder than Porto. Who did Porto have? Who was the main striker for Porto? Conceição. That was it. Who was the main
attacker? Was Conceição, yeah.
Who was the main? Yeah. You got 4 quality players that could get in almost any team in the world.
Mate, let's not forget Sané. Sané played at the weekend.
Yeah, Sané played at the weekend. Koeman didn't start for him. Common.
No, I think he's injured. I think he's been out injured. JV 23 in the chat. How long's Koeman before he's back? I think he's been out for a few months.
Lee, people are saying this weekend Mueller's washed up. He's too old.
He's unreal, man. That guy is so good.
Bro, I mean, you give him a blade of grass and he's scoring a goal, man. y'all better wake up.
Look against Lazio. Look at his performance against Lazio.
Mate, ever since he had that meltdown a few weeks ago, where he was kicking off, with the reporter saying it's like this is a disgrace, we need to do better and this and that. He's been quality, Thomas Muller. But bro, this Thomas Muller is one of the most underrated footballers. He's like Di Maria. They never get praised. Like when you mention top players, they're never in the conversation. Why? Thomas Muller's been brilliant for the last 15 years.
This is
consistently.
This is one of the sole reasons why, regardless of what happened or what we do in the Champions League, regardless of, ultimately we all would love for us to win this thing. But for me going forward next year, we have to address the depth issue in this team. We have to have a team that can compete on all fronts. Because this Bayern Munich tie is going to take a lot out of us going into the league, whether people want to face that reality or not.
Mate, I want to read this comment real quick as well. Big up to Content Jack Rabbit. That's a funny name. Porto scored one last second goal against us. What is this nonsense? Bro, it's not about what Porto did. It's about what we didn't do. Yeah, because we had 4 shots on target in 210 minutes. Yeah, with a 41-year-old who's the same age as me at centre-back. In fact, our only shots on target all came at the Emirates. Yeah, we had Saka with a P-roller at the keeper. We had Trossard score, Odegaard with a P-roller, and then Gabby Jesus in the 81st minute, as soon as he came off the bench. We then went all the way through the rest of that normal time, 9 minutes, plus the added time, which I think was 5 or 4. Then another 30 minutes without a shot on target. This team are better. And you best believe, this is their last chance to win something this season. So people are just dismissing Bayern München. Oh, my days.
That's their arrogancy.
I think we can beat them. Yeah, but I would not be surprised if we get slapped.
Exactly. Like we've done it before.
And I'm not going to run my gums until we get past them. Yeah, and then I can say, they're dusted. Or, we were lucky to get through that or whatever. I'm keeping it until we beat them.
If we win, we're going to win. We're not going to win. We're going to have to suffer, and we're going to go through a lot of difficult moments because we're not talking about Bayern in reputation. What we're talking about is that the fact is they are great players. Harry Kane's a great player. Sane has got the experience of winning titles in England with Man City. He's still
Kingsley Coman's won everything. He's won a trophy every year since he's played football.
Musiala is going to be one of the is going to be a great player. He's probably in the wrong era for Germany because Germany just says it's strong, but he's going to hurt us. He's had a good season in both the Champions League and in the Bundesliga, despite the fact that they're light years away from Leverkusen. And then Thomas Muller. Well, Thomas Muller. What has Thomas Muller not won? Not a case of what he's won. What else
has he ever done it on a wet and windy night in Stoke, Kenny? Do you know what I'm saying?
So that, despite what you're saying, that front four it's still got great quality. We're not talking about Bayern Munich on reputation.
And let's not forget their bench as well. They've got Serge Gnabry sat on the bench.
Yeah.
And people can laugh at Chupa Motin. Yeah, he's miles clear of Eddie Nketiah.
This is what I'm saying, Lee. This is what I'm saying. They got quality.
They got issues. They got issues with their best players. I think there may be an issue with Tuchel and obviously there's an issue with Davies because of the, over his contract, and he's trying to force a move to Real Madrid next season. But if he's off form, that's a problem with Saka.
They got Matthias Tell. He came off the bench. I'm looking now. He came off the bench the weekend. Lima came off the bench. Like, is he better than Eddie? Not Eddie. El Neni? Probably. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Not even probably. Yeah, Alphonso Davies come off the bench. Serge Gnabry come off the bench, and Choupo-Moting came off the bench. Yeah. They had Upamecano, Kim Min-jae, Sasha Bowie, and Ulrich sat on the bench. That is without their injured players, which will be back for this tie. Yeah. Let's just have it right here. This team, just don't look at how crap they've been in the league this season. Yeah, let's not look how crap they've been in the league this season. They are still a fucking good team.
Look,
and this is because they're not going to win the league for the first time in 12 years. And fans are just writing them off. Oh, they're not going to win the league. They're not going to win the league. They've won 11 in a row, mate. We ain't won any in 20. Have some shame. Yeah, have some shame. Holding that club to a higher standard than ours.
Bingo.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The amount of people, I did the Atleti watch-along last night where they got absolutely schooled. First home loss of the season. Barcelona battered them.
Yeah.
All of the comments on that and on my tweets. Yeah. What are you saying now, yeah? What are you saying now about Simeone, mate, yeah? Yeah? Oh, he's finished, mate. Yeah, okay, well, hold on. Last time I checked, he's still in the quarters, and he's got Dortmund, who we all wanted, by the way. Yeah, because they're easier to play against in this lot, right? And that's an easier side of the draw. Furthermore, when they're going, he's not going to win anything for 3 years. Well, hold up. Super Mix gone 4 if he don't win fuck all this season. So what's your point?
Yeah.
The arrogance of our fans, some of them, is mad. They're world class at arrogance.
It's not arrogance. It's been thick.
Yeah, that's it.
They're thick because they sit there pontificating about how. I saw something today on Facebook, man. Some guy, he's always on Facebook putting out about Mikel Arteta. This, I put on there. Yeah, he's changed this guy was saying, oh, he took the club out of the doldrums and he's changed the mentality. Yeah. How? And
typical Arteta must come out of that crack.
He's the best. Yeah. He's the best Spanish manager. Blah. I said, yeah. And what has he won? What has he won?
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Like, big up to Rich Guitar Gamer. Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, we did want to be in this position. The difference between us four and this chat, the majority of this chat anyway, we don't get giddy, mate. We're all of an age where we've seen us get absolutely slapped around Europe. Walked around Europe by this team and other teams, by the way, not just this team. Barca have battered us every time.
Let's have a history lesson for some folks. Let me break it down to you this way. We had to play Juventus, Real Madrid, and we had to get past Villarreal. Who carried us through the Juventus and Real Madrid games? Patrick Vieira, Cesc Fabregas, Titi Henry. Where's that in this team? Where's that in this team?
Yeah. And let's not forget Lehmann as well. Lehmann. Yeah.
What? All world class players right there. I just named all 4 world class players, world certified world class players that had to get us through the hardest draws that we ever seen. And when you get to the business end of this Champions League, it's about world class players. So let me throw this out for everybody who's saying for all this is going to show me something, because all year we've been having this discussion, this back and forth discussion about, is soccer world class? Is this player world class? Is this player? Well, now it is time to put up or shut up, because you got what you
100%, 150%, because this is where Saka, we earn our money. The other day I've labelled a lot of Arsenal fans.
Not Vieira, excuse me. I'm sorry, not Vieira. I'm sorry, not Vieira. Because Vieira was playing for Juventus then. I'm sorry.
No,
yes, that's rude.
You're talking about Cesc.
Yeah, I'm going
even so, right? You look at when they talk about Saka being world class, and they talk about Saliba being world class and Declan being world class. Well, this is the tournament to prove it, because you think about it. If you look at the tournament outside of Real Madrid, Man City, and Barcelona, the other five, and I suppose PSG, because I think a lot of people in this country seem to write off PSG. But when you've got Mbappe in your team,
he's got a hat trick yesterday.
If you want to put PSG in that category, fine. But there's nothing between Arsenal and Dortmund in terms of like real footballing Champions League experience. And there's obviously Atletico Madrid, they still got the experience. But if you want to lionise who are the best teams in the Champions League and have got the most complete squads, then right, by all means, say Man City and Real Madrid. Bayern Munich, I think, are up there, but people will disagree. But the other five, there isn't much between all of them. You look at Dortmund, they're kind of seen as up and coming. They're only where they in the Bundesliga, fourth. Atletico Madrid are a team where they need a bit of transition. You've got PSG who are winning their league at a canter, but they've lost some really big players like Messi and Neymar, and even before that, they were losing players that they still managed to keep Mbappe, who wants to go. So they need a bit of transition. Us, we're babies in Europe as well. Saying it now, we are absolute babies, and that's not a criticism. I'm just saying it's going to be doubly hard for us to win this tournament, because I say it now, if he gets past Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and gets to the final and win it, that's going to be his best achievement in football. He's not going to better it.
Put the statue up. Put the statue up.
If he gets to that final, I fancy us against anyone on that side of the draw.
Yeah, and if he wins it, he wins it. No disrespect against Arsenal. I'm not putting us down. We've got no right to win this competition because we haven't got the experienced players. The way we play isn't even built for Europe. So, and that's why I do think that we will probably come up short sooner rather than later. But to win it with this team, lack of experience, lack of European know-how, it'll be an extraordinary achievement, because I do think that there are better squads out there than us. And we're in the harder part of the draw. We're in the harder part of the draw where I expect us to get smashed by the three teams we're probably going to have to face. Obviously, we're definitely facing Bayern.
Fixtures, right? From when we played Man City on the 31st of March to when we played the second leg 18 days later, right? We have 4 games from the City game to Bayern. Yeah, so that's 6 games in 18 days, guys. Yeah, Man City, Luton, Brighton away, Bayern at home, Villa at home.
Every 3 days.
Yeah, in 18 days. Right. Not only that, if we get through,
that's what we've all asked for. We've all asked for that, and this is
why we're not getting giddy, Kenny, because we understand. This could go one way or another here, and we could be fucked in both. Or we could
You know what do us in all those 6 games, and what would do us at the end of the season is if we think we're going to be able to play this expensive, high pressing, long busting football. We're going
to have to go back to that boring.
We do play all the time.
We played at the start of the season.
We will tire, and then we'll run out of steam. So I think what he's got to do, he's got to refine how we play, even in the league, because. Yeah. For a start, we're playing better teams anyway than the rubbish we played in February and March. And that's not taken away from those beautiful bits of football we've seen. But I'm assuming Aston Villa will be better, Brighton will be better, Man City they're Man City. And I think, I like to think that Wolves will be better than will be better.
But not only that, if we get through, let's say we get past Bayern, yeah, right? we have a North London derby 3 or 4 days before we play Real Madrid or Man City.
Please.
Yeah.
And
Then we play Bournemouth, right? We play Bournemouth, right? Then
We don't know what they
Then we've
try when
got-
they play against us.
then we've got the second leg, of the
Hmm.
semi-final against Real Madrid or City, and then that's like 3 or 4 days after Bournemouth. So we'll have Tottenham 3 days later, Real Madrid or City. 3 days later, Bournemouth. 3 days later, Real Madrid or City. 3 or 4 days later, Man United. Yeah, these next 8 weeks,
Crucial.
we either
Pressure.
win it all, win one, or we end up going, well, we bottled it again. We
I was
couldn't get
told
over the
last
line.
week. I was told last week on the panel that we under no pressure. There's no pressure.
No, the pressure's
There's no
great.
pressure.
You-
And I'm like,
you-
yeah,
right.
they need to be under pressure. The next 10 weeks, it's sink or swim. It's
Yeah.
sink or swim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
facts.
is where we're going to learn a lot about Arteta, because my biggest criticism of Arteta and why I'm not having him, because don't get me wrong, he's proven me wrong in certain things, and I found myself agreeing with him on the goalkeeper situation. I've accepted Tierney's one, and I kind of agreed with him on the Tierney one because I've seen the footballing reasons for it. But pressure is what sets apart the great managers. I'm sorry, under pressure, he can't do it under pressure. He
Well,
couldn't do it against.
He's going to have to now because
In 2 weeks.
if he gets over the line, and let's say we get embarrassed in the Champions League, or if we get embarrassed, let's say we get knocked out by Bayern Munich, all the fans that are on their mouth are going to have to sit and eat humble pie. Yeah, for saying Bayern are this, Bayern are that. Okay, well, on that basis alone, then, if we get knocked out, you need to come out and say it's a disgrace then. Because they've pinned their flag to the mast now, saying this Bayern team's dead and buried, they're crap, we're better than them. So if we don't go through them, that means he's fouled on their own logic, right? But if we get over the line in the Premier League, none of us will give 2 Fs if he fouls in the Champions League this season. Yeah, because let's be real,
The Premier League is
we ain't good enough to win the Champions League this season,
no, not yet.
or even
Not
with this
season, no.
manager, perhaps. But if he does do this and not the Premier League, yeah, then we don't care we didn't win the league because we've seen our first Champions League. He has to do one of them.
Yeah, one of them's got to get done. A trophy has to be the end result here for him.
Yeah, if he doesn't win any trophies, then he'll have to be replaced by someone else. He's got to go.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
it's time to
it's
go.
not a case of unlucky, because I've said you can't. How many times do we have to? Is he allowed to be unlucky when other managers aren't allowed to be unlucky?
Mate, the best team doesn't always win the Champions League. Porto were not the best team when they won it. Yeah, Chelsea weren't the best team a couple of years back when they won
Chelsea
it.
won it twice, and they weren't the best teams. In
Neither
Europe
times they were the best team. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's be real. Our team when we lost in 06, we were better than Barcelona. I don't care what anyone tells me. We had a better team.
That Barcelona team, yeah, we were better than that Barcelona team, no doubt about it.
They won a team. They won a team. They were individuals.
Yeah.
We were
They
a
were
team.
start.
team.
So you don't have to be the best team to win it. You just have to have a little bit of luck, and you just have to navigate your way through a game. The fact that none of our players have been in this situation, really, maybe 5 or 6 of our players have been in the Champions League in this stage. But big up to Chris Clark as well, man. It's big up for keeping it real. We're straight past Porto on pens. Folks are saying we're favourites against Bayern. Bro, you can tell a lot of our fans have never seen Champions League football before, mate, or have never been in this position in terms of we're top of the league. We tend to go, they're living the dream. This is the best they've ever seen Arsenal, blah, blah, blah. Us older heads, we've seen us actually win titles, bro. Yeah, let's just calm down. I did this on a video yesterday. Stop disrespecting Bayern Munich. Yeah, they are one of the biggest clubs on the planet for a reason. Yeah, and people can mock their league all they like. Yeah, you still have to win it every year. And I see a stat the other day. Somebody put it in my comments the other day. Until Pep Guardiola went there, nobody had ever done 4 in a row. Or I think it had happened once, and then Pep kicked it on from there. 11 in a row will never be done again in that league. Yeah, never. They didn't do 12 because they ain't winning it this year. I think I'm right in saying there'd never been 4 in a row. You'd never done a 4P ever in Bundesliga history. So when people say that league's crap, I agree. The league ain't great, but it's all relative. Yeah,
what about
it's
Alan?
all relative.
What about
you still
Alan?
have to have the mentality to go and do it every year as well.
Lee, what happens in our league, right? This season, it's neck to neck between ourselves, Man City, and Liverpool. But if Man City win it 4 times in a row, despite the fact that they may win it by points, on their two rivals. What does it say about our league that they managed to win it 4 in a row? Because we keep on saying that the Premier League is the best in the world. We can't be the best because it's not competitive. Man City win it 4 times in a row. Can't be competitive.
It'll be 6 out of 7 as well. Yeah, so that's a Farmers League then. Yeah, if he wins it again this season, right? There's a bloody good chance he can do a treble again, back to back. By the way, yeah, everyone should be sacked. Everyone should be sacked. Just sack them all. Yeah, if he does another treble, yeah, Klopp's doing one anyway because he can't hack it. Yeah, he should be sacked if he don't win a trophy this season. I'll tell you. Yeah, we've given him enough time, given him enough money. These are his decisions. Yeah, he should be gone. And you go and find another manager, and people will turn their nose up and scoff at Simeone. I see a fan on Northside's channel the other day. I think he's Dutch, called Mo. Yeah, and he was sitting there going, "Yeah, but Arsenal's DNA is not crap football. It's tiki-taka." No, it ain't, because it's evolved over generations.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
Herbert Chapman era, it was tiki-taka. Yeah, with the W or the 3-4-3 or whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah. Then it's evolved over that, and then we've gone into other eras that you and Jez Kenny have seen, where it's been boring crap table tennis football at times, where we've
93 season, Jez, the 93 season, those 2 cups in the FA Cup and League Cup, we beat Sheffield Wednesday both games. The football was rubbish.
It was shit.
Then we finished 12th.
Boring.
Shit.
Yeah. But we picked up 2 cups. Does anyone care? Because when people rate clubs, they rate them on the amount of trophies they win. Yeah, which is why I don't get how we throw cups in the bin. Oh, it's only the League Cup. We'll take them 2 League Cups out, mate, and we're level on trophies with Man City. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, let's just have, and we'll be level with Chelsea, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. So them 2 League Cups that you dismiss and say is a shit cup, yeah, have put us above Man City and Chelsea in terms of big club debate, because it's based on trophies. Yeah, so I don't ever get throwing these cups in the bin. Yeah, but at the end of the day, for me, he has to win something. And if you don't win something, go and get a manager who can. And if he can't, sack him as well and get another one. And keep going until you find one that can on a consistent basis. We did it with George Graham. He came in, bang. For me, the greatest manager we've had. Yeah, others are moan and say it's Wenger. Yeah, but this particular guy on Northside's channel was saying, no, tiki-taka football. That's what we're built on. How about win? How about that? How about just win something? You don't have to play sexy football to win all the time. Yeah. Oh, but it's boring, he said. It's boring. Yeah, Jez, was you bored? Matt, Kenny, is anyone in the chat bored when George Graham was winning against Parma? Was anyone bored when we stopped Liverpool winning the title in '89? Like,
I fell asleep every time I went to a game.
Yeah. I think the thing about it, right, is that when you talk about when we actually were selling Arsenal to fans across Europe and abroad, we were actually selling the Harlem Globetrotter football that we played under Arsene. That great team, the great era. Pires, Cole, Henry, those kind of players. That triumph down the left-hand side, and you've got the midfield of Paddy and Petit, and then it was Paddy and Silva. Sol came back the back, alongside Adams, or even the George Graham's back 5, and then with Wenger's foreign legion. I can understand why fans do see Arsenal that way, and I've got respect for that. But Arsenal have won trophies playing differently. I wasn't born in 1971, but you can't tell me the 1971 team played great football all the time.
It didn't. I can assure you. I remember watching it, man.
That's what I'm saying. People are so fixated on playing sexy football. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it ain't happening every time.
I want to play winning football, Lee. That's what I want to play, winning football. I'll take that.
Thank you. Do you know what, man? When we won the FA Cup against Man United in 2005, they absolutely battered us in that final. Yeah, we were shocking. That was probably one of the worst games we've seen as a club. Yeah, that we've played, especially in a final. And we done them on penalties. Does anyone care?
Exactly.
No. We lifted the trophy.
Yeah. What about Liverpool? What about Liverpool? We always talk about the great football they used to play. The football under Gerard Houllier was shocking. It was crap. It was long ball rubbish. But they won 3 trophies in 2001. They won League Cup, against Birmingham, beat us in the final in 2001, and they won Europa Cup against Alaves. 3 trophies, but the football was terrible.
Was that the 5-4?
They played non-ball football.
That was the 5-4 against Alaves, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5 at Alaves, yeah. But the fact is,
See, you 4 goals in the final and still won it.
They were a long ball team. That was a long ball team. The football was crap, long ball team. But Liverpool still had the parades with all the 3 trophies.
Look at when they were dominating in the 80s. Yeah. As soon as they scored, they shut up shop. Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, you weren't beating them. When we done them at 89, yeah, it was a fucking miracle if you scored at Anfield. Let alone score twice. Like, come on. We went there and done them. Does anyone care? Yeah, that we had to play a different... Well, it weren't a different way. It was the George Graham way. Yeah, but that's why I think he's the greatest manager we've had. Because he found the way to get over the line against the best teams.
George Graham is... Look at what he won in the time he was there.
Yeah.
What he won. That's the fact. And I tend to agree with you. I mean, I honestly, people say Herbert Chapman because he changed the culture of football. Fair play. Sorry, I wasn't there to watch it. I know the stories.
You weren't there, Jez?
Missed that. I missed that. I missed that. I missed those few seasons. But George Graham, in the time he was at the Arsenal, in his time period, he was the best manager we've ever had, without question. That's a very quick question I want to answer, Kenny, because you might know this one as well. Oh, it's gone. I can't see where it's gone now. Oh, fuck, where's it gone?
Big up to Darryl as well for the super chat, man. I appreciate it, bro.
AC Peter said, Jez and Kenny, here's a trivia question. What semi-pro team knocked Arsenal out the UEFA Cup in 81-82 season? It's the 81-82. I remember it very well. I was at the game. I remember it very well. Belgian team. I'll give you a clue.
I have no idea.
Kenny might remember.
He said semi-pro, so I know I'm way off. I can't even answer that.
Are they still semi-pro now?
We actually didn't do too bad that year.
We only got to we got.
Well, the year afterwards, we got beaten 8-4 in aggregate, didn't we, by Spartak Moscow?
They don't actually exist under their current name now. You want me to tell you?
You've got to help me out. You've got to help me out, Jez.
Winterstag, Belgium.
Jesus Christ.
Never heard of them.
Lost 2-1. Yeah. Lost 2-1 at Highbury.
Never heard of them. But this is the thing. This is why we're like, and people will come in here, and just go, "You're being so pessimist." Bro, I remember going on holiday with my parents, and we played Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yeah, and my dad asked the coach driver who was taking us to the hotel, "Can you put the radio on so we can listen to the game?" I cried. I was about 12. Because we lost to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yeah? Like, come on. Yeah, these people are sitting there going, "Oh, buying a crap." Yeah, look. Yeah, let's not forget, they've only lost 4 games in the league this season.
Lee, we lost to Lons.
And we've lost to Lons. We drew with PSV. Yeah, I mean, let's not forget last season we lost to PSV, didn't we?
Yeah.
They had 100% record in their group. They had 100% record in their group. No, they drew Copenhagen. And they won every game except for the draw with Copenhagen. Fix. Only joking, and then they lost to Lazio and they smashed them in the return leg, which labours the point as well. That
they topped their group 16 points, 5 wins, 1 draw, conceded 6 goals.
Yeah. One thing you do have to say, if we look at the state of the game, we've got to take something to the Allianz Arena. We have to. No matter how well we play or how badly we play, we've got to score against them. And we've got to make sure
we've got to get a lead. We've got to beat them, mate. We draw or lose to them, we are dusted.
Yeah, score a 2-0. We got 1 foot in the semi-final. Anything less.
I see so many people going, "Oh yeah, if we get Real Madrid, we'll smoke them. They're crap. Better them, bro." They've lost 2 games in all season, and both of them were lucky.
You got to take one game. You got to look at the game itself and think, right. Whatever happens, we got prepared for. It's going to be a game over 180 minutes. In some cases, it could be 210. Prepare for 210. But whatever happens, we have to take a lead to Germany. If we don't take a lead to Germany, with the way they're playing, I can't see anything other than them going through. We have to take a lead. It's imperative. Any sort of lead will do, but a lead we've got to take to Germany.
Yeah, get a lead, even if it's 1-0, just go there and park the flipping bus.
I say it respectfully as well.
Martinelli can break away.
I say it respectfully as well. There is such a. Let's not forget that Spurs lost their first game in the semi-final against Ajax and won the return. But I'm saying that, and I know people want to horsewhip me. If we don't get over the line at home, we lose to Bayern by a goal or 2 clear goals. Concentrate in the league.
Facts. And on that bombshell, I think we'll wrap this up, guys. Hour and a half. It's flown past as well, man. 90 minutes. Look at that. It's not going to fly past when we play the first leg against them like that. That's for sure.
I've been reading some of the comments, about you can't criticise that, this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, we can, and we're qualified, more than qualified, because at the end of the day, we've been there, seen it, and done it. Got the T-shirts, got the books, read the film, seen the films, and all that. So we are entitled to actually make educated comments. It's not slagging, it's education comments. I mean, no disrespect to people. I've been there. I mean, how many people in that chat right now who are making stupid comments could answer that question I just answered? Because I was there. Been there, seen it, and done it. End of the day. And I'm not being rude to anybody, but the fact is, don't come in here when you haven't got the knowledge and experience of what we have amongst us.
There's just a lot of people, Jez, that just want you to, everyone of us and everyone else in the chat, just to go, oh, we're going to smash him. Let's just jump on the hype train. Yeah, I did a video saying if Arsenal were that scary, they're going to beat Bayern, didn't they? Let's see how scary Arsenal are now. Because everyone's making fortunes off of doing videos and tweets saying Arsenal are scary and everyone's scared of us. Bayern Munich are not scared of us. Did you see Thomas Muller talking about us at the weekend? Did you see Tommy Tuchel talking about us? Nobody's scared of Arsenal.
He was emphatic about that draw. And if Arsenal are so good that we're going to destroy Bayern Munich, and damn, we should be winning the Premier League this year. Because if we can beat Bayern Munich, we damn sure can win the damn Premier League.
Facts. And if we can get past Bayern Munich, I'll be exactly the same on this podcast about Real Madrid and Man City. Yeah, and then when we get past them, I'll then go, yo, we're in a final now. It's a one-off game. Yeah, and I think we can win it. Yeah, because it's a one-off game and it's at Wembley and we've got a good record at Wembley. In these games, no, we're going up against the best teams on the planet, lads. Like in terms of clubs, maybe they're not in their best form right now.
There's, this is the championship rounds of the Premier League and the Champions League. This is where we got to sink or swim. We don't want to be at the end of the season where people are saying, "Oh, unlucky." I'm proud of my boys, but we finished third. I'm proud of my boys, but we only got the quarters. We gave it all, but I don't want to be. We're bigger than that. Let's just see if we can go our way and be the team that is handing that silverware or getting silverware handed to them. That's what we should be about. I don't want to. We're not a little Arsenal. We're big Arsenal. Let's be big Arsenal.
But at the same time, have a bit of shame. Have a bit of respect for the opposition you're playing against.
Exactly.
That, by the way, have 6 times won this competition. Yeah, we've been to one final in our history. So on that bombshell, we are going to wrap this up. It's been an elite show as always. We are going to redirect to Saeed. He's live. What have I done here? Maybe we're not because I've totally nosed this up. But anyway,
I've got a footballing announcement. Just came on my phone. 2 football announcements. If you're a season ticket holder, you can book your tickets for Bayern Munich, get priority booking this Thursday from 2:00, 21st of March. And our game against Aston Villa has been rearranged to the 14th of April. And it's going to be a 4:30 kickoff. I'm assuming that's on Sky. Yeah, the game will be broadcast in the UK by Sky Sports. So the game that's scheduled for Aston Villa on the 13th of April.
That's because we got Bayern before that.
Yeah, and it's because Villa are in the quarterfinals of the Europa Conference League.
Hold up, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So that was scheduled for 5:30 on the 13th, right?
Yeah.
We have Bayern 4 days before that. So now we have Bayern then 5 days later. So we get a 5-day rest then before playing them, or a 4-day rest then play them. But that now means the second leg, we don't get 4 days before we play them, we get 3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but that game Aston Villa was actually scheduled for 5:30 on the 15th of, sorry, the 13th of April. So, you know, the games are coming thick and fast. You know, athleticism is going to be tested. You know, the beautiful football you're going to be seeing. We know we've got to find another way to play.
Facts. Jez, what have you got coming up, mate? Shout your channel out. Everyone's links are pinned to the top of the chat, guys. So make sure you sub to Jez, Arsenal History and More. Matty's channel's there as well. Southern Gooner and Kenny Ken 1972 Insta. But what you got coming up, mate?
Well, thanks for having me on once again, Lee. I love this Monday night, evening, afternoon chat. It's all facts on here, no bullshit. Wednesday, 6 o'clock, weekly chat with Kenny Ken. And we're going to talk about the 91 team. How good were they? How good were they? How good were they?
Only Wenger's 2002 double winning team's better than them. It's better than the Invincibles.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it in great depth.
91 team. Didn't Merce get Young Player of the Year?
Yep.
I think so, yes.
If you're about, Lee, you're more than welcome to join.
Wednesday, what day?
You're more than, sorry?
Wednesday, yeah?
Wednesday, 6 p.m.
I'll come back to it because I'm supposed to be on with Flawless, but I don't know what time. But yeah, pencil me in and I'll find out in a minute. I'll text him.
Right, mate. Matt, if you're about, you're more than welcome as well, of course.
Yeah, I got to work.
So we're going to talk about that. It's Arsenal history and more. And people, I'm that close to 5K. I'm only 60s away. So you know, it's an ambition. It's like pulling bloody teeth getting there, but never mind. It is what it is. But thanks, mate, for having me on with Lee and Kenny and Matty.
Always, man. Kenny, what you got coming up, mate?
I've got Jez on Wednesday at 6 o'clock talking about the second greatest team that ever produced. Although I'm a George Graham fan, Arsene Wenger's team in 2002 was better, slightly. That's the best team I've ever seen. And then it's 91, then it's the Invincibles. And then I'm on today at 8 o'clock with Egal. And tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Yeah. Well, I promised Egal. Egal asked me on a couple last week, but I wasn't, because of we weren't able to get something together last week. So I did promise him that we'll do another show when we both had time. So I'm going to be with Egal at 8 o'clock. So Egal's going to be excited like he should be. You know, we've got some big games coming up. I'm sure he's going to be super confident about Bayern Munich, but I think that's why he's got me on to sort of calm him down a bit.
I'll come and watch that, Kenny.
Yeah, make sure you check that out. Matty, always love as well. What you got coming up, bro?
This week, Sunday, I was supposed to have a show with Anfield Rod, but I forgot that. I don't know how he forgot the Liverpool game was on Sunday, but we were supposed to do it. And then he messaged me like, "Hey, I can't do it because the Liverpool game is on." Like, all right, well, we'll scratch that. So we're probably going to have that show on Saturday. Jez, if you're about, you can swing through. I'll make sure y'all get the link. But we're going to be talking pretty much the same thing we talked here today, and it'll be really interesting to have a discussion about where Liverpool is going after getting put out this weekend. So that's what we'll be doing on Saturday morning.
There you go, man. Check it out. All links are pinned in the live chat. I dropped a video earlier about Imposter Koglu down at Spurs. Saying fourth is not a prize, and then he goes on to say, after saying that he'd be happy if he finished fourth or fifth if it meant that he thought he could challenge for the following season. Which, let's be real,
how many Spurs fans are in Andalusia?
I ain't seen any, if I'm honest.
You're a Liverpool safe then, isn't it?
But it's funny because he sat there going, "Nah, fourth, mate. Nah, that ain't a prize, mate." And then he goes, "But listen, I won't be shoehorned into that box, mate, like you guys do over in England, mate." And then he goes, "But if we finish fourth or fifth, mate, yeah, and I think we can challenge next season, then I'll be delighted. Yeah, I won't be disappointed." So basically, how do you know you're going to challenge next season if you finish fourth or fifth? Because some of your squad are not going to be there. Also, there's a Copa America and a Euro, so you don't know which ones are coming back injured, right? Not only that, you don't know which players you're buying.
It's
So he's
Spurs.
chatting bollocks. So yeah, I've ruined him on that. So go and check that video out. I've got another one coming out later. I haven't recorded that yet, but that'll be out later tonight on that channel, Lee Reacts. I haven't heard a single Man United fan talking about Bruno should have got a second yellow, which is kind of funny because certain channels out here like to talk about equality and calling it out, yeah, even if it goes for your team. But I haven't heard any of them talking about it. No Man United fans mentioned Bruno should have been sent off for a second yellow. So we're going to call that out. We're going to call out Pochettino saying it takes time, guys. We're going back to Wembley. Just trust the process. So I'm going to ruin him on that as well. And I will have a video out on here as well later tonight, probably midnight. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm enjoying doing uploads for the next 2 weeks with the odd live stream. So yeah, man, big up to all three of you. Big up to the chat. Big up to everyone who's locked in. We're going to redirect to Saeed. He's live with Nuruddin right now, so make sure you go and show him some love as well. Spam his chat with Lee Raid, and we're out of here, guys. Adios, io dimutante. Gracias.